This is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on a very interesting concept which is known as the Bhav Suchaka. So now friends, whenever we talk about going in depth analysis while taking into consideration different divisional charts as well. So definitely in this channel, and if you have been following all these tutorials on astrology on different channels, you must have come across different techniques via which you can make use of the intricacies of the Vedic astrology in the form of making use of different divisional chart which can give you insights in a specific area of your life. This is what the beauty of our Vedic astrology is, that rather than only relying on the planetary alignments in your main ascendant chart, there are specific divisional charts which gives you elaborative information regarding the matters of the specific house. So for example, if from your 7th house we get the information of your matrimonial life, so there is a specific divisional chart known as the D10 chart, Amsa chart, which can give you an elaborative information pertaining to your matrimonial life. Same way friends, if 10th house tells about your professional life, and in today's day and age where there is so much of the diversity available, so much of the different fields which are available, so just only looking at the 10th house of your main ascendant chart might not be sufficient. So we have a specific divisional chart known as the D10 chart in Vedic astrology, which can give you deeper insights regarding any of the concerns of your professional life. So same way friends, when we talk about the planetary alignments or the different techniques over there, this concept of Bhav Suchaka Amsha can also prove to be very fruitful or very supplementary for all of your divisional chart solving concerns. So now friends, what does this concept mean? So now that's very simple. One approach of decoding the divisional chart is that whenever you open any divisional chart, you see the sign which is rising in the first house of that specific divisional chart. How that lagna of that Varga chart is connected with your main ascendant chart. And then friends, definitely there are specific karakas for each divisional chart. So for example, when we talk about D9 chart, so the significator planet with the D9 chart are planet Venus and Jupiter, and also you have to see the individual placement of the 7th house lord from your main ascendant chart in the D9 chart. Same way when we talk about D10 chart, the significator planet is the Saturn, and you have to see the individual placement of the 10th house lord from your main ascendant chart in the D10 chart. So friends, this much of the analysis of looking at the planetary placement in different divisional chart is not sufficient. You also have to see that what kind of transition those planets are going in different divisional chart. Like you must have heard this concept of Vargotam. So Vargotam is a concept when if you will find planets to be placed in the same zodiac sign, both in the main ascendant chart and the D9 chart, which gives more power to the planetary vibration. Now over there I have my own personal view that a Vargotam planet, more than getting strengthened, there is a kind of a unification or a kind of a synchronicity in the functioning of that planetary vibration. That planet is not gonna surprise you with any variation in its manifestation of the results. But friends, over here it's not only the Vargotam concept which becomes important, but also if you will find that planets comparing it with the main ascendant chart, if they are going through different zodiac sign, if they are placed in different houses, so how that transition is going to bring a variation in the result of that planetary energy in your life. So now friends, the concept is very simple. I will definitely be explaining you this concept through different case study material as well. So if you will stick around till the end of this video, you will be able to understand this concept with practical examples as well. But before we will jump to that section, let's first try to understand that what could be the different transition or alignment in the planets shift from the main Rashi chart to the divisional chart could mean or could add the flavors of the functioning of that planetary energies results. So now friends, that's very simple. The first alignment is that if you will find that a planet is going to be placed in the same zodiac sign, so that is going to be termed as you can call it Varg Vargotam as well, and you can call it a Lagna Amsha as well. So here we are not only restricting our discussion only to the D9 chart. You can follow the same principle in the D10 chart, in the D7 chart, in the D16 chart. So you can include this in all of your analysis. So again friends, if you will find that a planet which is going to be placed in the same zodiac sign in the Lagan chart, and once you open for example D24 chart and the planet is going to be placed in the same zodiac sign, so that means in that Varga, in that divisional chart, planet is Varg Vargotam and it is placed in a Lagna Amsha placement, which is definitely going to be giving more strength to its energy. You will definitely find a synchronicity in the functioning of that planet, that in whichever house planet is going to be placed in that divisional chart, it is going to be manifesting results in the same way. And friends, like the way I always say this thing, the only way to differentiate between the planets, zodiac sign and the house placement is that house just provides the relevant energy, but the way planet is going to be functioning or utilizing that energy, that we get to know, the theme or the style we get to know from the zodiac sign. So just because if you are going to have a Mars to be placed in a Capricorn in your main ascendant chart, making you very driven, very confident, demonstrating strong leadership skills, and if that planet, same planet Mars, is going to be in the Capricorn, Varga Vargotam in the D10 chart, so your professional sphere will manifest the same sort of determination. If it is going to be same sign placed in the D9 chart, so even in your matrimonial duties and responsibilities, you will find that your energy, your drive will manifest in the same way. Now friends, second transition could be that if you will find that planet has gone to the, from the main ascendant chart, the planet has gone to the second sign from its main Rashi placement, which will be called as the Dhan Amsa. So now friends, this is a very good placement because no matter what role that planet is playing in your life, that planet holds this potential and capacity to give you some sort of wealth or some sort of gains. Now this could be on material plane as well, this could be on a spiritual plane as well. So let's say for example, if you are taking into consideration your D9 chart and you are a kind of person for whom the spiritual merits is a utmost important priority in the life. So if you are in the main Lagan chart, you are a person with a Sagittarius rising and your Jupiter is exalted in the 8th house. Now if you will find that Jupiter, because in the main Rashi chart it is placed in the Cancer, it is exalted, but in the D9 chart it is placed in the Leo sign. So that means from its zodiac sign placement perspective, now it has gone a second zodiac sign from its original placement. So that in itself means that in whichever sphere Jupiter is going to be placed in your D9 chart, if you are taking that divisional chart in consideration, it holds this potential to give you spiritual and wealth and financial gains pertaining to the house where it is going to be placed in. Now friends, the third transition could be that from a planet's original placement in your main Rashi chart, it has gone to the third sign from its original placement in any specific divisional chart. So in that specific divisional chart, this planet has gone to the Vikram Amsa. So that in itself means that the confidence, courage, capacity to take initiative and to grow with the passage of time. So those potential is going to be very strong in the vibration, in the energies of that specific planet, no matter in which divisional house you are studying the placement of that planet. So now friends, in this alignment, this transition like 4 places ahead of its original placement in the Rashi chart will be called as the Sukh Amsa. So let's say for example, if you have opened someone's chart, in that person's chart Mars is exalted, but in the D4 chart specifically, if you are looking at a chart from the perspective of how much property, real estate native is going to acquire, and will he be able to receive that sort of sukh or contentment or satisfaction for all of his accomplishment or not. So definitely if Mars is going to be placed in a Sukh Amsa placement from Capricorn in the main Rashi chart, being placed in the Aries in the 4th house of D4 chart, let's say for example, so this could be a very promising sign for that. Now friends, next transition is going to be, if you will find that from the main Rashi charts planetary placement, planet has gone 5 zodiac signs ahead of it in any specific divisional chart. This will be called as the Putra Amsa placement, which generally manifest very good creative talents. Now this could be from the perspective of gaining happiness on the count of progeny, or doing something very good in the creative fields, specifically if the benefic planets like Jupiter, Moon, Mercury, Venus, and if you are studying the D10 chart or the D9 chart or the D3 chart. So planets being in this Amsa, no matter which house is coming into consideration, but if planet is in a Putra Amsa placement 5 places ahead of it from its original Rashi chart placement, that can be seen as a very promising sign. Now friends, next is the Shasht Amisham, which is the 6th zodiac sign placement from planet's original placement in the Rashi chart. So now friends, this is a kind of a placement which can give rise to strife, obstacles, initial setbacks regarding the goals which you are trying to achieve pertaining to the matters of that specific divisional chart. Now friends, next placement is that if you will find a planet to be placed 7th signs ahead of it from its placement in the original Rashi chart, which is known as the Jaya Amsa. Now friends, this is a very good placement for having a broader view on the life. Like let's say for example, if in your you are studying a chart regarding someone's knowledge perspective or wealth perspective, and you will find that that specific planet, now this could be your 7th house lord from the main Rashi chart, this could be your 10th house lord from the main Rashi chart, and if that planet is placed in any specific divisional chart, now this could be your D10 chart, and if the planet is placed in this Jaya Amsa placement, so this gives you this potential capability to have a broader view of the life. And second thing is that this also gives you this capacity to completely transform your life. So from all those perspectives, this is a very good placement. Now friends, comes the sensitive, scary placement, where if you will find that planet has gone Ashta Amsha. So no matter which divisional chart you are studying, but if you will find that planet has gone from the main Rashi chart, now planet has gone in any specific divisional chart 8th sign from its original placement. So let's say for example, if your any specific planet is placed in the Capricorn sign, but in any specific divisional chart which you are studying, their planet has gone to the Leo sign. So that means it has gone 8th place ahead of it. And definitely if in that divisional chart as well, planet is placed in a sign of weakness, planet is placed in a sensitive house like Dushtana Bhav, and it has also gone Ashta Amsha, then this is a very sensitive matter of concern regarding the fruits of that planet. And definitely if you will go into the dasha or time period of that planet, you might have to opt for remedies, because there is definitely going to be lot of unexpected events which native has to face or native has to go through. And specifically in certain alignments, it could give rise to karmic events, psychic sensitivity pertaining to the matters of that house or the qualities which that planet represent. Moving ahead friends, now let's say for example, if you will find the very good placement, if a planet from its original sign placement in the ascendant chart, now planet has gone 9 zodiac sign ahead of it in any specific divisional chart which you are studying. So a planet which is placed in Aries has gone to the Sagittarius, a planet which is placed in Taurus has gone to the Capricorn, a planet which is placed in Leo in the main Rashi chart, now that planet has gone to the Aries in the any specific divisional chart. So now friends, this is known as the Dharma Amsa, or you can also call it a Bhagya Amsa. So it is a very good placement that definitely there is going to be strong potential that native will follow the righteousness, native will gain lot of wisdom pertaining to the matters which that planet represents and which that specific divisional chart represent. And definitely friends, the prospects of luck supporting you, divine grace supporting you, any of the religious or spiritual austerities opted by you is going to be helping you. You might be receiving right set of of guidance in order to pursue the matters of that planet. So regarding all that front, this can be considered as one of the fortunate transition for planet to go through in any specific divisional chart. Next is, friends, now let's say for example, if you will find that planet from its placement in any, like in the main ascendant chart, in any specific divisional chart, now planet has gone 10 zodiac sign ahead of it. So a planet which is placed in the Taurus sign in the main ascendant chart, that planet has gone to the Aquarius sign in any specific divisional chart which you are studying. So friends, this is known as the Karma Amsa, which is considered as a very good sign. In order to attain something very concrete, very substantial, concerns of power, authority, leadership skills, or actually sowing seeds for like giving foundation to something very substantial which is going to be helping you in times to come. So regarding all that front, like here we are talking about the concerns of recognition, fame, accomplishments, authority, favors. So regarding all that front, this can be seen as a very good placement or a very good Amsha placement of a planet. Now friends, next is that if you will find a planet which is placed in whichsoever zodiac sign in the main Rashi chart, but in any specific divisional chart where you are studying that planet, it has gone to the 11 zodiac sign ahead of it, which is known as the Labh Amsa. So which is a very good sign. Definitely it all comes down to the nature of the planet. It all comes down to that which all houses that planet is ruling in the main Rashi chart. So, and once you will open the specific divisional chart, there is a strong potential and capacity to gain pertaining to the matters of that planet which that planet represent. And lastly friends, when we talk about that a planet has gone to the 12th zodiac sign from its placement in the original Rashi chart, main ascendant chart, this is known as the Vedic Amsa. So that means that you might have to lose out lot of your energies pertaining to the matters which that planet represents and the houses which that planet rules. Now this can be seen as a very good sign, like specifically if the chart is very religious, very spiritual oriented, or in your case lot of travels, exploration, research is involved, or anything to do with the art, creativity, complete religious surrender or divine surrender is getting qualified. So definitely the only concern over here is that this is not a placement of a planet to expect a lot in return. It is a kind of a placement where you will be able to do good for others, for the humanity, for the society, without getting a lot or much in return. But again friends, it all comes down to the nature of the planet and the role which that planet is playing in your life, which divisional chart which you are studying, and your own individual aspirations from the life. So okay friends, this was just a basic overview which I wanted to give you regarding the matters of the planetary shift in different divisional chart. Because friends, whenever we open up any divisional chart, so my approach is very simple. Let's say for example, if I am opening up the D9 chart, so the step-by-step approach which I follow is that, first of all friends, I also want to make it very clear over here that there has been this conflict or kind of a bone of contention over different astrologers. Some astrologers say that you do not become something like your D9 chart with the passage of time, and some people firmly believe that we progress towards our D9 chart with the passage of time. So friends, I personally feel that definitely I've seen in lot many charts where people transition as per the D9 charts rising sign. See, that's very simple, like not all of us tend to remain same. You must have witnessed all those cases where someone who was born with the very soft, tender, very imaginative nature, but with the passage of time, life made this person very very mean or very career driven, very practical, very realistic. And there are those cases where people are born with a strong degree and sense of realism, but with the passage of time they tend to become more softer, they become more empathetic towards others. So it all comes down to that when I open up the D9 chart, I will not say that you will completely lose out your identity, what your main ascendant chart is promising, but definitely when we talk about your state of subconsciousness, over there the D9 chart's rising sign and its element, the planetary placement over there plays a very major role, and it also comes down to that in which way that first house sign in your D9 chart, for example, is connecting with the planetary placement or the your main ascendant chart. And second thing is that, friends, definitely then the Karaka significator, and whichever planet you will be studying, you have to see not only the planetary placement, in which house that planet is placed, in which dignity that planet is placed, but also in which Amsa, in which transition that planet is placed over there. So okay friends, let's start with the reference chart. So over here, friends, I have again opened up my own chart only because I did not have much time today to go into a lot of research for other reference chart like celebrities and all of that. So I will just give you a basic overview how you can do the correlation or the transition which planets go through in different divisional chart. So friends, for this video I'm only going to be explaining it from the perspective of the D9 chart and the D10 chart. The principle which we have just studied in this video is going to remain same for any specific divisional chart, whether you are working on D24 chart, D7 chart, D3 chart, D60 chart. This is going to be the same principles which you have to follow in all the divisional charts. So friends, as you can see over here in my main ascendant chart, you can see that I have got a Aries rising, and my ascendant lord Saturn and Mars are strongly conjunct in the 8th house. All the planets are in the axis of Rahu and Ketu. Sun is being Atma Karaka is very well placed in the 10th house, and I have all the benefic planets being tightly conjunct in the 11th house. So friends, this is what my main ascendant chart is. Now let's first open up the D9 chart. So friends, as you can see over here that in my D9 chart, my rising sign is Cancer. So first of all, now we have to make a comparison of the Bhav Suchaka. So Bhav, which means a specific house or divisional chart, and Suchak means it is a Hindi word which in itself means the kind of information which that planetary transition is giving it to us. So friends, as you can see that just because my rising sign has gone from the original Rashi chart, which is the original reference point, it has gone 4 places ahead of it. So as per the Bhav Suchak, it has gone to the Sukh Amsa. So that in itself tells about that definitely the path of dharma, because I always see D9 chart as the caricature of your dharma. It is the actually chart of your fortune, of your dharma, of your righteousness. This could be seen as the caricature of your soul as well. So definitely friends, Sukh Amsa, that in itself means that my whole existence, which is my main ascendant chart, the path of dharma, the path of religious austerities will definitely provide me the kind of contentment which I will not be able to find in any other pursuit. So the path of dharma is definitely going to be a very strong significator of giving me the sukh or contentment which my soul crave for. Now friends, the same is the process which we have to follow for all the planets. Now if you will see Sun, so in my case, my Sun from being placed in the Capricorn in the main Rashi chart, now it has gone to the Virgo in the D9 chart. So friends, that in itself means that my Sun, which is the Atma Karaka planet as well, so it has gone to the Bhagya Amsa. So definitely now you have to see that what role Sun is playing in my main rising chart, ascendant chart. So Sun in my main ascendant chart is the 5th house lord. 5th house, which is the house of your buddhi, of your knowledge of mantra, interest in spiritual austerities. So now as you can fairly see that not only it is placed in the 3rd house, but also the transition is of Bhagya Amsa. So that itself is a very good sign regarding the matters of religious, spiritual austerities, more and more acquisition of the knowledge perspective. This can be seen as that planet has gone in a very good, very optimistic transition in that specific divisional chart which represents dharma and religious austerities. Now friends, if you will see the placement of moon, so now friends, moon over here from the main Lagan chart where it is the 4th house lord. Now it has gone to the 7th house. It is conjunct with Ketu as well in the D9 chart. it is also the rising sign of the D9 chart, and it has gone 12 places ahead of it, which is the Vay Amsa. So again friends, lot of energy which needs to be shed, and it is a very good placement or transition specifically from the religious and spiritual austerities perspective, like in order to channelize energies, manifestation, and complete submission towards the divine will and all of that. This can be seen as a very positive like alignment or transition, but only from the religious perspective. From the worldly perspective, this is not a very good transition which the planet has gone through. So pertaining to the matters of the material aspect of the 4th house in the main ascendant chart, Moon being conjunct with Ketu in the D9 chart in the 7th house and being in a Vay Amsa, it is a kind of a alarming sign from the material perspective, but from the spiritual and religious perspective, this is a very promising placement. Now friends, if you will open up the Mars, for example, now Mars in my case friends, again is the main ascendant lord. So it has gone to the in the D9 chart in the 4th house, but if you will again see over here, the transition has gone to the Vay Amsa. So again friends, it is not a very good sign. Lot of energy needs to be lost, exerted in order to gain the matters which I want from the main ascendant chart. So friends, ascendant lord in itself becomes the most important planet for all of us, and in the D9 chart, although it is placed in the 4th house, but over and above, because being in a Vay Amsa, it is not a very good placement regarding the material aspect again. But again, when we talk about the spiritual and the religious pursuit, regarding that front, this can be seen as a good placement. Now friends, if you will see the individual placement of Mercury and Jupiter, so overall friends, definitely in the D9 chart, both Mercury and Jupiter are placed in the 5th house, so which is a very good sign. D9 chart, which in itself is the chart of your religious and spiritual austerities, and in the chart of the Dharma, 5th house is the mind of the Dharma. So both of these two planets being placed over there in itself is a very good sign for the acquisition of knowledge which resides in the 5th house. And over and above that friends, both of these two planets are placed in the Karma Amsa. So again, if my karma, if my actions, if my profession is also going to be connected with the matters of where Mercury, Jupiter, 5th house, they both are finding resonance. So now this could be creativity, this could be spirituality, this could be mantra. So making a profession out of it, doing something substantial in that field can be seen as a very good sign which these two planets are promising. And friends, if you will see, Venus's placement has gone to the Bhagya Amsa, which in itself is a very good sign, because now looking at this, we can say that in the main ascendant chart as well, Venus is placed in a positive house, being surrounded by in a benefic and influence environment. And in the D9 chart as well friends, a Venus is placed in its own sign in a strong dignity, and it has gone to the Bhagya Amsa as well. So that in itself tells about that yes, the Venusian energy, the Venus Dasha, Venus connected matters are definitely going to be a matter of support and luck in this specific chart. Now friends, if you will look at the placement of Saturn, so definitely friends, Saturn is Vargotam because it is placed in the same zodiac sign. But now friends, just because Saturn is placed in the sign of its enemy, now many times what happens is that people have this wrong interpretation that they think that if a planet is debilitated and Vargotam, placed in an enemy sign and Vargotam, so that means planet is only gonna manifest positive results. So that's not true, because as per the work of K.N. Rao sir, Sanjay Rath sir, they all have found this in their research, in all of their like tutorials and all of that. You will find that if a planet is going to be Vargotam, so that just unifies its energy. The planet is not gonna go through any transformation, but it all comes down to how much efforts you are putting in pertaining to the matters of that planet. So definitely friends, if you will see Saturn being in this placement, so this could be seen as a good sign for making a profession in occult sciences, doing something good, or very much inclined towards secrets, mystery, research. But when we talk about individual placement, so had this Saturn in the D9 chart has gone into a friendly sign, in its own sign, sign of exaltation, then we would have said that the planet has gone or transitioned to a uplifting energy. But just because planet is Vargotam, being in a sign of enemy, so that in itself means remedies or the essence of the planetary energy needs to be opted, needs to be embraced through discipline, through living a life of strong virtues, principle, and moreover doing remedies which that planet demands for. So now friends, this is what the way you can look at the D9 chart. So friends, if I were to summarize, if I have to make use of this Bhav Suchak like principles, so that's very simple. No matter which planet or which house related matters you are studying, all what you have to do is that you have to see the dignity of that planet in the main Rashi chart. After that, if your query is pertaining to the matters of the marriage, then you will definitely open the D9 chart. Your query is pertaining to the matters of the luck and religious and spiritual austerities, or your progress with the passage of life. So the moment you will open up the D9 chart, you will not only see that in which house, in which zodiac sign that planet has gone, but also what kind of transition that planet has gone through. So if you will look at, in this case, Venus has gone to the Bhagya Amsa, and it is also placed in a good house, in a good sign. So that in itself is giving lot of energy to Venus. Now, but when we talk about from Mars's placement or Saturn's placement, so Mars placement in this chart, in the main ascendant chart, it has gone to the a difficult house. It is placed in its strong dignity, being in its own house, in its own sign. But also friends, because even in the D9 chart, Mars's placement in the 8th house, in the 4th house, is not considered as very good for the domestic harmony. And if you will see over here, it has also gone to the Vay Amsa as well. So that means right set of approach, mindset, remedies and work needs to be done pertaining to the matters of that planet, which in itself is more important because it is the Lagnesh as well. So now friends, after this discussion, let's briefly look at the D10 chart as well, like a second divisional chart for the same reference. So now friends, if you will see in this D10 chart, so the concept is very simple. Now you know the main Lagan chart which we are studying as a reference. The moment you will open up the D10 chart, so first thing which you have to see is that which sign is rising in the first house of the D10 chart and how that is connected with the main Rashi chart. So that's very simple. In the D10 chart, you will see the rising sign is Leo. Now, because the ascendant has gone to the 5th zodiac sign ahead of it. So this is called as the Putra Amsa, which is a very good sign for creative talents, for interest in mantra, religious and spiritual austerities. Or this could be somehow very intricately connected with the past life karma as well. Like the professional undertaking might be very in a slight way connected with something which the soul might have done in the past lifetimes, past incarnations as well. Now friends, if you will keep on studying the planetary transition, the Bhav Suchak individually, so Sun has gone to the Shashta Amsha in the D10 chart. So now friends, that is not a very good sign, because if you will see in the D10 chart, Sun and Moon, although in the D10 chart, in whichever house both the planets get conjunct, the matters of that house becomes very important. So although their placement in the 11th house in the D10 chart is a good sign for recognition, for gain perspective. Second thing is that, like in this case, because I am very much inclined towards and engaged in occult sciences, so again the combination of new moon or Amavas is always a blessing for all the people engaged in occult fields. And third thing is that friends, just because it has gone to the Shashta Amsha and in the main ascendant chart, it was the 5th house lord, and in the D10 chart, just because it has gone to the 6th transition ahead of it, so that in itself tells about that lot of hard work, struggle or obstacle native has to inculcate or go through, or native has to be very proficient, very disciplined, very perfectionist in his chosen craft. Now friends, if you will see, because from the main ascendant chart, if you will see, Saturn becomes a very important planet, because in the main ascendant chart, Saturn becomes the 10th house lord. Now if you will see in the D10 chart, now Saturn has gone to the 4th house. It is Vargotam. So this Vargotam concept you have to apply in all the divisional chart. Like people only restrict it to the D9 chart, but it is equally important. We can call it a Varga Vargotam, but it is equally important in all the divisional chart as well. This is how you denote it or you address it. So friends, now Saturn is the Lagna Amsha. It means it is the Vargotam, Varga Vargotam, and it is placed in the 4th house. So that in itself tells a lot many things, because looking at the main ascendant chart, we were getting this information that native might has to gone through a lot of like instability in the professional endeavors, or native might have to be like native might be inclined in research, occult fields, might be living in a foreign land. And the moment you will open up the D10 chart, that what exactly is happening, or is native gonna be experiencing only challenges, or native might in the passage of time can get stability as well, because 10th house lord in the 8th house is going to give serious grave concerns regarding the stability in the professional endeavors. So now friends, if you will see in the D10 chart, now planet is Varga Vargotam. It is placed in the 4th house, which is a very good sign for working from home, or talking, or dealing in some serious matters, or the matters of like occult fields and research and all of that. So as we can see, that planet is Varga Vargotam, but again it is it has gone to the Varga Vargotam placement alignment. So there is a uniformity in the results or the behavior of that planet. Now just because it is placed in the 4th house, there is a sigh of relief for getting the desired stability and being engaged in a field where there is a lot of seriousness, lot of counseling, lot of consultation might be involved as well. And lastly friends, because individually in the D10 chart as well, we have to see the 10th house lord's placement as well. So if you will see, Venus's placement is also coming out very promising, because 10th house lord in the 7th house is a very good sign. Second thing is that because Venus is placed in a Vargotam placement as well, Lagna Amsha placement as well. So very good sign for addressing larger audience, working in the fields of humanitarianism, research, doing things in a very innovative way. So that is how you can see the way we have to see the planetary placements in different divisional chart. So friends, if I were to summarize this discussion, so the only thing as a closing note which I want to give for this video is that it's not only the planetary dignity or placement you have to see in any specific divisional chart, that in which house that planet is placed or in which zodiac sign that planet is placed. You have to also see the kind of transition that planet has gone through. Then only you will be able to conclude that in which way the planet is going to be manifesting results in your life. So this is something friends which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs on this concept of Bhav Suchak in Vedic astrology. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyawad.